healthcare choice and competition versus centralized healthcare and government decision-making. The progressive ideology is a very bleak ideology, and it runs absolutely counter to the founding of this nation. Absolutely counter. And they know it, because as we're going to learn in the days ahead, they specifically attack the Declaration and the principles. They specifically attack the Constitution because they reject separation of powers. Because separation of powers puts a check and a balance on their power. I don't believe this is too heavy. You need to know these things because it's about the future of this country. It will determine whether we're going to be free and prosperous or not. It really is. I am describing to you two different ideals here. One that is humane, that this nation was founded on, and the other that is not. One that believes in the individual, one that believes in the collective. One that believes in freedom, one that believes in coercion. Now, let me address this briefly. Now you can see why this book is rather unique, the different sections. This issue, what do we mean by property? Somebody ripping somebody off? Profiteering? Living a life of materialism and hedonism? No, we don't mean any of that. And yet that's the description that's given to private property rights. The progressive disdains private property rights. Individual success. They disdain wealth creation. And the reason is because it demonstrates what's possible without the state. It demonstrates what's possible without their control. And they demand uniformity and conformity. Remember what Hegel said. The individual is self-realized through the state. It's the state that's crucially important. And if the state is happy, then the individual will be happy. If the state is well off, then the individual will be well off. Success can only be accomplished through the collective, which is why Obama was trashing individual success. Obama knows about Hegel and Marx and Rousseau. He knows about Alinsky. Obama's an ideologue. So I want you to know about them. People who the hard left believe in. This is why they claim to have knowledge and science and evidence on their side, and they have none of it. And then they call us deniers. They don't want to engage. They have to be intolerant. They're on a mission. They're on a mission to change our country, to change our society. Eternal truths are so hostile to these people. They believe in everything has to change to accommodate the circumstances of today. There cannot be eternal values. There cannot be natural law. That's a throwback, according to these people, as you will see in the weeks ahead when I read them to you. But it was enough just to read you a little bit of Hegel, or we call it Hegelism, to understand what we're up against here. The battle over Obamacare is not a battle over health care, ladies and gentlemen. It's a battle over liberty. It's a battle over republicanism. And the Republicans in the Senate don't get it. And the Republicans in the House don't get it. Yes, you're going to suffer as a result of this next type of Obamacare. But you also lose your liberty, your free will. And they don't seek your consent. Positive in the moral sense about it, is there? I hope you find this as fascinating as I do. Because once again, if you leave these debates to the so-called intellectuals and academics, and just figuring, I'll go on with my life, none of this matters. You can still go on with your life, but it ought to matter. This is what's going on in our classrooms. This is what's going on in the United States Congress. This is what's going on in the bureaucracy. This is what's going on in too many of our courts. They truly are. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.